Hello, my name's Fiona Keary and welcome to our weekly retail review for 35 Plus Where to Shop and Style Liberation, where every week we showcase our favourite retailers, brands and designers based on style, personality, colour palette, body shape and also dress code. And this week I'm excited to showcase an Adelaide brand called Hello There Cheeky, started by Katie back in 2015, who is a visual artist and also has a bachelor's in visual arts and applied design. She has created this brilliant earring brand, which is, if I would describe it, cheeky, fun and bold as well. And I love in her bio that she says she's been making jewellery for as long as she can remember, even when she was using it with dried pasta on a string back in kindergarten. So I think that is absolutely gorgeous. So style personality wise, we're very much looking at creative, dramatic, with a little bit of feminine in there as well. These are bold designs. These are fun designs. These are designs that are talking pieces and really, really gorgeous. So if you are someone possibly with a natural or a creative or an elegant base, but you've got that splash of creative or dramatic in you, these earrings will lift something that's quite a classic or tailored look to something that's got that little punch of creative in there as well. In terms of colour palette, does work for all colour palettes. However, I would say that the colour is probably a little bit more bright or clear rather than soft and muted. So they are bolder designs there as well. And in terms of body shape, they're earrings. So they do work for everyone. What you need to focus more on is what we call scale. And then also what we look at is the face shape as well. So I'll talk a little bit about that when we look at some of the pieces at Hello There Cheeky. So price point, you're looking at $16 for studs. You are looking, I think it is $26 for dangles and hoops and hooks as well. In terms of delivery and returns, they're available online at hellotherecheeky.com, I should say. And they do also have a stockist across Australia. So I noticed there are some in Canberra, but also across Australia. Do allow about 8 to 10 days for delivery. And they also have freestanding delivery for orders over $85. And the other thing to notice, for hygienic reasons, you cannot change for just change of mind, which is standard across sort of earrings and things like that too. The other thing to note as well is that Katie does say that they do restock monthly. So it is a good idea to take a bit of a look every month because it's restocked there. So let's take a look at some of my favourites. As someone who really enjoys seeing how people, I guess, tell their story about their brand and their marketing as well, I love that on this page, you know, you've got the Hello Cheeky and then also the entire Cheeky range. And even she describes when returning or looking after your, what she calls cheekies. And I just think that's gorgeous that it carries through with that. So a couple of things to note here. She does do collections. So you'll see here's the Brooklyn, then it comes in studs, in hooks, in gem hoops, large arcs, mountain designs, all of that sort of thing. So that's what I love about this brand, is because you have a particular collection, a particular print or look, and then you can get it in lots of different styles, which I think is fantastic. Because what you want to think about when you are choosing earrings for yourself is around the scale that's going to be right for you. So whether small scale is better for you, medium scale is better for you, or large scale. And your scale is based on 3 things: your height, your weight, and your bone structure. So generally, if you are a petite size, smaller will be better for you. If you're over 173 centimetres tall, usually you would be considered more large scale, and therefore you can go a little bit bigger and bolder with your accessories as well. It's all about creating that balance and proportion, so reflecting or mirroring your own balanced proportion there. So if you put something small scale on someone who is larger scale, it makes them appear larger. Likewise, if you put something large scale on someone who is small scale, it makes them appear smaller through there as well. The other thing to take into account as well is your face shape, and in particular with dangly earrings, it's your jawline. So if you're someone who has a more tapered or pointy or narrower jawline than your forehead, for example, then you can afford to add some width like these daydreaming gem dangles or arc hoops or anything that has a little bit of width at the bottom of it, to create that width at the bottom of your jawline. That's absolutely fine to do that. Whereas if you're someone who has a more square jawline, like a square face shape or a rectangle face shape, doing that might actually make your jawline appear even more square and increase the width of it. So make it look out of proportion to your forehead. I know that this sounds a little bit strange, but just test it and you will see. The other thing to bear in mind as well when you're looking at earrings is also the shape of them. And what you want to do is often mirror the shape of your own face shape. So if you have rounder, softer features, often you want to go for rounder or softer, like, you know, your circles or half circles, hoops, that type of thing. Whereas if you're someone who has more angular features, I know sometimes people say, oh, you should do something to soften it. But again, if you can imagine, it's putting out a balanced proportion. So you can go for something that, you know, you've got a straight edge here with this wild berry sorbet, but then you've got that curved around the top. But I actually think, you know, a triangle or something that's a lot more sharper in its features could work really well, especially if you're someone who wants to be creative or dramatic there as well. The other tip that I'd like to give you around this is also the length, because what we're trying to do when we create balance and proportion is to create what we call the oval face shape. So what you want to do is, if your face shape is, say, an oblong or a rectangle, which is a longer face shape, if you wear longer earrings, then it makes your face appear even longer. So often shorter earrings above the jawline are better, and ones that have a little bit of width as well above the jawline work really, really well. Whereas if you're someone who has a round or a square face shape, then what you want to do, and I'll see if I've got an example here, you may want to bring in something that is a little bit longer. So again, like these Brooklyn statement dangles, because what that will do is create length through the face. And it's the same with your neck length as well. If you've got a longer neck, you might want to go longer with the earring or the drop, just so that you can see there. So I'm just showing you some styles. There are quite a number of styles at the moment that have been sold out just because of, they're obviously very, very popular. But as you can imagine, they're being restocked every month through there as well. And if there's particular ones that you really, really love, Katie does suggest getting in touch, because she may be able to tell you where you can pick one up from a stockist that she works with there as well. So that's just a little bit of information, and just to show you some of the beautiful designs and things like that of Hello There Cheeky. So some of you might be thinking, oh, that's great, Fiona. I just thought I had to choose a pair of earrings that I really liked. I didn't actually think I had to realise about the length of my face, the jawline, all of that sort of stuff. Look, what I would do is I would start practicing with what you have at home. And if you'd like to find more brands that would be perfect for you based on your style, personality, colour palette, dress code, and also body shape, pop on over to 35plusweartoshop.com, where you can download our free retail guide where we showcase, oh gosh, it's 130 now, retailers and designers and brands that are going to be perfect for you. We will see you next week. Bye.